The basics. The first step is to choose a stone, rock or mineral. This step is actually very important. Gather a few stones that are around a ½ inch across, perhaps less. Then close your eyes and focus on each stone, one at a time. Pour a bit of energy into each one. One of them should feel right. It's hard to explain, but you'll know when you have the right stone. It is best to do this next step outside, barefoot, in the soil or grass. Stand or sit, it doesn't matter. Place your stone in front of you. Close your eyes and imagine that you are growing roots of energy. Feel them burrowing through the soil to the heart of the earth itself. Feel the massive energy contained beneath the soil. Then slowly draw some energy into yourself. Be sure to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth in deep, even breaths. Focus the energy from the earth into your hands and let it flow into the stone. Let its energy combine with yours. Imagine that the stone is a part of you. Do this for a while and get a feel of the stone's energy. Once you think you're ready, try to shift the stone a few inches to the left or right. It is usually best to move it in the direction of your dominant hand. This is done in a variety of ways. I usually visualize the energy blending with the stone and simply moving that. You don't have to move your hands or anything, but sometimes it helps. Once you think you did it, open your eyes and see how you did. You won't get it on your first try. Just keep working and you'll eventually get it. Once you've mastered moving the stone around on the ground, you can try to lift it off of the ground. This is achieved through the same ability as the one above. The only difference is you must defeat gravity to do this, so it may be slightly more difficult. Many beginners have trouble keeping the stone still once it is in the air. It sometimes wobbles or moves up and down erratically. This is normal, but it is a sign that you must keep training until that stops. It is caused by an unbalanced flow of energy from yourself. It is important to get rid of that while working with small rocks, because you don't want that to happen when you're trying it with larger stones. That may cause damage because of it. Once you can lift and move a small stone without any wobble or unintentional movement, you can continue. Intermediate techniques. The next step is very difficult. You will try to manipulate sand. There are two ways to manipulate sand or soil. The most common method is to simply manipulate the sand as a whole in a similar way to hydrokinesis. The other skill is rarely used due to its difficulty. It allows for a greater control of the sand, so I personally prefer it. I'll start with the first method. To do this, you must gather a small amount of sand or soil. Sand works best because it has few impurities, but soil works too, and place it in front of you. It is best to do this outside while you are in contact with the earth. Focus on the sand as a whole. Imagine it is simply a soft stone that can be reshaped. Now you must draw some energy from the earth and mix it with the sand. Once you think you're ready, close your eyes, or don't, whatever works for you, and focus on the sand. Feel the energy in it and imagine the energy moving in a certain direction. Imagine the sand flowing like water and moving into the new position. Then open your eyes if you had them closed and see if you did it. After you can move it into different positions, you can try to mold it into different shapes. It is easy to begin with simple shapes such as spheres and pyramids. The other method is much more difficult. It is difficult because instead of viewing and manipulating the sand as a whole, you must pay attention to and manipulate every grain of sand. At the same time, it allows for a more focused use of sand. For example, it would be much easier to make a sandstorm using this method. To do this, you prepare as though you are doing the first move, except instead of infusing the entire mass of sand with energy, you infuse every single grain with it. To do this, you simply focus on the sand and try to sense the grains of sand. Once you've done this, you can try to move the sand in different directions, much like the first move. It is very difficult to focus on every single grain at the same time, but eventually it will become automatic. Once you've mastered that, you can try to form shapes out of the sand as in the first move. However, much more detailed shapes can be made using this move, since every single grain can be placed in the right spot. Once you've mastered this with small amounts of sand, gradually increase the amount you use until you can manipulate about 13 pounds of sand. At this point you should be able to freely manipulate sand and stone. Stone molding. The next step is to learn to mold stone. Once you've mastered this step you could even reshape diamond. The easiest way to start is to get some clay and place it in front of you. Next you must infuse it with energy and try to change its shape. This is done by slowly moving the clay into the desired shape with your energy. Once you can do this you can move on to soft minerals such as graphite. Then keep doing it with things of increasing hardness until you can reshape stones. That rate around 5 on the Mohs scale of hardness. Then you can try merging stones. This is basically done by reshaping them until they are mixed together. Then try doing it with larger stones until you can easily create and reshape a 10-pound stone that rates around 5 on the Mohs scale of hardness, obsidian or steel work. That's all I have to teach you for now. With the knowledge and skill obtained from this you should be able to create a variety of moves. If you wish to continue your training then just keep moving on to bigger, harder stones. Once you are satisfied with that you can try to increase earth fuse. Close your eyes and picture the energy from earth floating all around you and glowing beneath the surface under you. Now, send some of your psi, in the form of string-type steams down into the earth, connecting the earth with your energy. Earth shield. Perform earth fuse. Picture your psi fusing with the earth's energy, and absorbing some of it into your energy. Performing a psi flame type power up, picturing the two energies fusing together all inside of you. Now start gathering earth energy. Make it swirl around inside your psi flame. Keep loading up your psi flame with earth energy until you feel it is fairly strong. Now, send all that energy that is swirling around you to the front of you, and use your mind to make it form something such as a brick wall type shield. Keep adding earth energy to it, and program it to do whatever you want. Earth punch power up as you normally would, but take in earth energy with swirl the earth energy with your own key. Now, bring your hand back, make a tight fist, and use the earth energy to surround your hand, and picture it making a big rock around your fist, or turning your fist to stone. Send the last of that earth energy into your fist, and take a big step forward and smash your foe with all your might, and picture the stone breaking on them. Earth blast. Earth blast power up a keyball. Send earth energy to the keyball in your wrist and arm. Visualize the earth energy plating the keyball and turning them into rocks fused together. Make them hard and strong. Then when ready, blast out the rock ball from your wrist and visualize it smashing with great force into your opponent. Minor earthquake. Visualize a massive fist of rock forming on the bottom of the staff. Use ki and earth energy to make it. When it's ready and strong enough, lift up the staff and slam it onto the ground. Visualize the fist hitting the ground super hard, and if done correctly anyone around you may feel a slight earth disturbance. Earth ripple. Picture a pond in your mind and then use all of your ki to make the biggest fist possible to make. And then imagine your hand tearing through the water in the pond. Then shash the fist into the earth to make the earth ripple, or concrete for that matter. Elemental blast. Gather mana or ki energy in your hand chakras. Acquire energy from earth, some from fire, some from ice, and some from water. Imagine the different energy swirling in your hand. Do not mix them, just put them into the ball shape, suck it in your hands, and shoot all the energy all at once. Earth gun. Create a psi ball of earth energy, pour a lot of energy into it, about 85% of all your energy. Do this 3 times, and shrink it so it's the size and shape of a bullet. Make a gun shape with your hands. And put the psi ball between your 2 shooting fingers and visualize it shooting out when you move your thumb or something. Aim. Click your thumb. Make it dense enough, and shoot it at paper. If it makes a hole in paper, try a beer can. If it goes through that means you're a good, very useful in fighting. Make several bullets, store it in your hand, use it like a gun. I am not Responsible for your actions. Don't be an idiot. Jing blast. Go set up for a regular ki blast. Place your hands to your side and create a ki ball between them. As you normally would. After the ki ball is created, begin to visualize the ki hardening into a solid. Object. I visualize it hardening into a cannonball. When in your mind it looks like a ball in between. Your hands, thrust out like you normally would. When the rock is released, visualize the stream of ki pushing it as a pole or piece of 2x4. I visualize a huge telephone pole emerging and shooting at the opponent. Ram the pole straight through the opponent. This will give a visible effect of the damage. It may cause a red mark or something the first few times you try it. Practice it on a friend first. But make sure he has proper gear on.